What is this? 10. Whoa. Frank Cannonball Bash, right? Creepiest circus acts.
Frank
What?
Cannonball Richards was known for his extraordinary stomach. Yes, stomach. Frank figured out early on that his stomach was something special. He could endure hits to the stomach and not feel any pain. Frank started off in vaudeville and became an overnight sensation.
Whoa, so it was
Hundreds
just,
gathered to
it was just a bash, wall of fat. Or was it? Who knew? It's some bash cartoon, right? That's, then took that and was like, let's use that because look, this guy was able to do apparent superhuman feats, right? Just getting bashed relentlessly in the stomach. Look.
see him take blows to the stomach by 2x4s. This progressed to him allowing people in the audience to stand and jump on his stomach. At the height of his popularity, he allowed heavyweight boxing champion Jack Dempsey to punch him in the stomach. Jack was amazed that his blows did nothing to Frank. The same blows he inflicted on his competitors in the ring that would not.
Oh, he was amazed. Wow, he just took punches relentlessly and just like nothing. He's just like, oh, I'm bored, right? And this and that and this and this and that. What was going on?
Knock them to the ground. The stunt Frank is most remembered for and the one that earned him the nickname Cannonball was having a cannonball launched at his stomach. He had a cannonball fired at his stomach from a distance of about 4 feet. There were no tricks or gimmicks. He performed this stunt twice a day. It was very painful, so he couldn't do more than 2.
Well, it was very painful, but he did it. He took a blast to the gut twice a day at a nickel a show, perhaps. At this and this and that and this and that and that and that. What are they saying? No, nothing. What is going on? People getting black. Wow, he truly was doing as thou wilt. Right? The survival of the fittest somehow led you to be able to do this. Whoa. And you say, no, no, no. Well, of course, it's just the call. That's how they just, die out eventually. And he does not propagate. And this and that. No. So if this even comes up in today's society, why wouldn't that guy be the first guy to evolve? And then blast himself into oblivion and then just die and then wow, humanity lost forever. So what is going on? How can you guarantee that the Bash, mutant or the Bash trait that supposedly is fittest is gonna somehow save you? What is going on? Exactly. You don't know, you're clueless, but somehow it's just a circus.
2 shows a day. Still, any normal man shot by a cannonball would have been seriously injured, if not killed on the spot. Stock footage of Frank being shot by a cannonball embedded itself in pop culture. Various shows such as Seinfeld and The Simpsons have referenced Frank's astounding cannonball footage. Frank died at the age of 84 after a long and lucrative career entertaining millions with his ironclad gut.
Number 9.
With his iron clad gut. Wow, he lived to be 84 or 86, whatever Bash he said. Wow, a full life, right? You say, wow, most people die younger these days. Whoa, and this and that and this and this and that. Well, so what's going on? Fanny Mills, Bigfoot.
Fanny Mills, Bigfoot. Fanny Mills suffered from Milroy disease. It was an extremely rare disease.
Amazing! Right? You say, whoa! It's a very strange disease. Um, right. Whatever you say. Clearly, this is Frodo. What is going on? He's just shapeshift. He just wore a little cape now. So what's going on? No, this is a very strange disease that gives you baby feet and baby legs forever. And then your just top half just somehow looks the same as any other regular ass person. It's just your legs, honey. your your legs in this shot. We're just gonna cut the camera right and then get the double in and do the other half. Okay. All right, and action. Right, and this and this and that. Right, because you're such a great orator that we have to have you on camera, but just from this half up. We'll get a desk for you, sweetheart. Don't worry. What we want is your face. Your face and your word. Come on, just get it out of you and action. But one day we'll come to be in a place where people are going to beg and pay to see you. So now you can show us. Now just hug up that dress. Just hug it up and let everyone see how amazing you are. The true gift of, what is it? Hybridizing? What was going on? What is going on? What is going on? Oh no, it was just a freak show, right? Circus act. It was just this. Some disease. Some disease. Some very rare disease, people. Don't worry. Some disease that makes your big toe be almost the size of your face. What is going on?
That caused a buildup of fluids in her lower extremities.
Fluids.
Neither of her parents nor
That is not extra fluid. Whoa! That is extra fluid? No, then you just be a blob. How does this person get around? Is it just like a water bed? Just around the bone that is supposedly just swelled up with water? No, there's tissue in there. This is look. How can you have a baby foot looking foot and just be it's just a regular foot, but it's just bloated? No! Look! What is going on? It looks like it's callous. It has a nice groove. This person walks around. What is going on?
her siblings suffered from Milroy disease. Fanny's feet grew to an enormous size 17 inches in length. She wore a custom-made size 30 shoe. Fanny moved from England to the US to star in sideshows and appear at human oddity museums. She was making a very good living, earning upwards of $150 a week. Fanny was married, and they had one child who died shortly after birth. Fanny
Just died. No, they're like, oh, too bad. Maybe it's because of your disease, right? They'll blame her for it now and this and this. Well, what was going on, right? What is going on? What is going on? Right, because what is this? I'll read the whole thing, but right now, look. As it was in the days of Noah, Jesus said this. Christ Jesus, right? Just as it was in the days of Noah, so also will it be in the days of the Son of Man. People were eating and drinking, marrying and being given in marriage, and name only. Eating and drinking, that's what you do every day, right? And you love it. Oh, let's go out here, bash that chicken wasted. Or like, no, I just have one wine, please. That's all. I'm so responsible. I'm so hip, and I wear skinny jeans, even though I'm 87. But I'm so amazing, and it's just so amazing to be YOLO. Smashed. Right? Marrying and being given in marriage, right? Wow. Aww. Up to the day Noah entered the ark. Then the flood came and destroyed them all. Who knew? But no. No, 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 no. Right? Because what were they doing? Right? What was going on? Right? Now when men began to multiply on the face of the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they took as wives whomever they chose. So the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with man forever, for he is mortal. His days shall be 120 years. Wow. The Nephilim were on earth in those days and afterward as well, when the sons of God had relations with the daughters of men, and they were bore them children who became the mighty men, old men of renown. Right? So the fallen angels bashing with women, right? And then bashing all these hybrids and Nephilim, whatever, giants and this and that, and and you'll lose your mind over this. Nephilim antics, this and bash. What's going on? Truly, it's right. It's written. It speaketh, right? So what is going on? And sure, you get the Neverlasting. Wow, you can see it too, my log. What is going on? And now you have pop singers these days saying, "Yeah, just defile with ghosts. People go out there and just defile with spirits. Go and have relations and little teeny tiny friction with them, even though it's just somehow fantasy, maybe." What are you doing? What are you doing? What are fallen angels? You don't know. Just things that were lost their wings. Somebody clipped their wings. I'm a PETA. PETA, PETA. I'm gonna spray blood all over me and say I'm just the carnage that you eat and gull it down your wall. I'm gonna expose my vagina, my period, and just say, yes, look, the blood, 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 shame, shame, shame. And use it as art. And then the men are like, oh, I make art with my feces to show you how much I don't give a bash. And this and this and that. Wow, smash. Right? Because what is going on? Right? The Nephilim were on the earth and afterward as well. When the sons of God had relations with the daughters of men, and they bore them children about. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great upon the earth. Wickedness. Who knew? I mean, this is all after the banishment of the garden. But now that they're in their bash wickedness, what and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was altogether evil all the time. Who knew? And you say, no, no, no. I'm basic goodness. I'm basic goodness, everyone. Sounds like some bash old, pervert that lives in a cookie house, okay? That sounds like a cookie house, okay? The cookie house promise. Wow. And they're saying, wow, yeah, come inside. Don't worry. I'll call your parents from inside. Don't worry. They know where you are. They they asked me. I spoke to them earlier today. And this and that and the other. Smashed, right? And the Lord regretted that he had made man on the earth. He regretted. Wow. Who knew the Lord regretted? Man on earth. For truly, wow, could he not see that man was in his own will, doing as thou wilt? Just totally smashing. How could that not bring pain to the Lord Creator, right? Wow. Seeing clearly how they're bashing each other, just smashing. And he was grieved in his heart. So the Lord said, I will blot out man, whom I have created, from the face of the earth every man and beast and crawling creature and bird of the air, for I am grieved that I have made them. And who knew that the Lord Creator is the only one can do this? The only one that can do this, right? But no, you're the one that say, I do it. And you say, oh, I'm just gonna blot you out from my life because you're toxic this and you're toxic that, and I will just surround myself so hard with those who just will friction me into oblivion. Yes. Who knew? Who knew? Because you think yourself that you're relentlessly creating a life for yourself. Wow. But here's the thing, right? Because, wow, mercy. Noah, however, found favor in the eyes of the Lord. This is the account of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless, blameless. In his generation, Noah walked with God. He was the only one. The only one who knew. Who knew. Wow. And Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in the sight of God and full of violence. Wow, is that not what you say is going on today? You're like, no, no, man, it's always been violent. Don't worry. We're always violent. Don't worry. Then why are you crying about it? Then why are you crying about it? Just move on in your violence and just impose complete obliteration, finally and for all, right? Just go out, and that's what's coming. You don't see it. But all you see is just, peace. March for peace, not war. March for peace, not war. And all this bash. What are you doing? Oh, wow, they're just violence, 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 violence here, violence there, defile in, out, there, blah, blah, blah. You don't even know of the violence, blah, blah, this one, that one, but ultimately, and then you're like, oh, the children. Right, the children, of course. Because who knew the ultimate violence is falls upon the children. But no, 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 no. We're just so advanced. We're just so advanced. And we have social services that prevent violence and create all these other ways to bash children. Yes. For truly the violence is physical. You don't need to see a child get smashed in the face, right? To say, oh, violence on children. Imprison that person for smashing the child. Right? What are you talking about? Why would the parent even smash the child? Exactly because they're filled with anger. Anger is their life essence. That's how they get by. And it's because they can say, oh, what's going on, sweetie? No, I'm just a good person. That's smashed. They will unleash the fury any chance they get. And usually it's either violence or in sexual lust and bash things. And God looked upon the earth and saw that it was corrupt, for all living creatures on earth had corrupted their ways. Corrupted. Right? So what happens when your DNA becomes apparently corrupted? Whoa! All sorts of things and bash, 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 and so you call it disease and pop, 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 pop. But no, somehow you meddle with it, you manipulate it with it, and you cut and carve and put in and out and in and out, and then just grab and read and put in other things and pop, 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 enhance and take away and add and subtract and now divide and wow, splicing and in and out and this and that. Now we're going from a double helix to a quadruple helix. Yeah! You couldn't wait to meddle and corrupt your way. All living creatures on earth had corrupted their ways. So life became corrupt, right? Who knew? You were in corruption of life, abuser of life, right? Of the everything, right? Wow. No, couldn't be, right? So as in the days of Noah, so it shall be in the age of Son of Man, right? So wow. And when was this? Who knows? They don't say when this was. But they'll say, oh, it looks old, sometime 1800s. Well, they're about that. Fine, could be, but who knew? This could be yesterday. You don't even have a clue. Right? Because what is a circus? Right? A circus, right, is a company of performers who put on a diverse entertainment show that may include clowns, acrobats, trained animals, whoa, trapeze arcs, musicians, dancers, hoopers, tight rope. Wow, they just walk on a line. Jugglers, magicians, unicyclists, as well as other object manipulation and stunt oriented artists and other, right, object manipulation. Wow, what is this? Object manipulation is a form of dexterity play or performance in which one or more people physically interact with one or more objects. Many objects manipulation skills are recognized circus skills. Other object manipulation skills are linked to sport, magic, and everyday objects or practices. So it's everything! Of course, who knew? So who knew you're the relentless Harry Potter out there just smashing? Just rearranging furniture all day, all night, and then somehow riding a broom as well. And just smashing, wanting little scar. And then you have the relentless bash on your head, and you can use it as a symbol of how you're just linked to some bash spirit that then you manipulate. Wow. Smashed. Look. Apparently, but see, look, what is meta-science? Whoa, meta-science. Whoa, is a systematic investigation of the scientific enterprise. Well, because it's a scientific enterprise. Exactly. They might as well have said a scientific empire. Okay, they should have just said scientific empire. The use of scientific methodology to study science itself. So how to just keep an eye out on its own self-interest. Who knew? Who knew? Meta-science is also known as research on research. Laughable. And the science of science. Wow. So it's just research squared, science squared. Smashed. Wow. The mirror. Oh, they're just bash, 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 bash. Meta. In the middle. Somehow. Just, who knows? And they'll give you relentless definitions of what meta is and bash, bash, bash. Because look, it's just paranormal, man. It's just supernatural, yo. Just relax and take it all in. And beg to live. Paranormal events are purported phenomena described in popular culture, folk, and other non-scientific bodies of knowledge. Just totally non-empire of science. Okay, they're outside of the body of the empire of the scientific realm, so therefore, they're non-scientific bodies of knowledge. Okay, whose existence within these contexts is described as beyond normal experience or scientific explanation. So they bash it and make it seem like so really ridiculous, but then they say, well, but we engage with it all the time. So we can't explain it, but we make relentless sacrifices and just believe and crush all in just accepting the tenet of our worshipful master, and we say, yes, we continue doing as thou wilt, and in the will of just the bash bringing in of the new era of complete defiance in the flesh, meaning the true split. Right? You're all the while you've been crying about this breakaway civilization. No, it's you. Who knew that you are completely splitting yourself away from the true promise? And that is the wow, it's good. Wow, who knew? No, you're like, no, we're just bashing. We're going to go to Mars. Yeah, go to war. Wow, who knew that Mars is war? And you're just like, bash, even in your own bash belief system. It's war. But you're like, no, let's make peace on earth and sing kumbaya just like John Lennon. Please give me John Lennon back. But why did they have to bash him? Why did they have to shoot him and blast his brains out? Why? And this and this. And then you had his wife to apparently continue his legacy. But what did she do? Who knew? But then she relentlessly boasted and just hid in the shadows and bash, bash, bash. And somehow people still hate her and bash, bash, bash. And they say, whoa, what happened to the best band ever? Bah. They wept and cried, but who cares? They're timeless, apparently, according to you. And their albums are sold relentlessly on different packages and different phrases. And every shapes and sizes and colors and all ways and formats that just blast you, all with the promise of highest quality. That's this art, 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 art. More relentless art upon art and part. You better subscribe. You better get this one-time classic original remaster and remix and blast so we can just cryptozoology into your blash gullet of satisfaction. But remember, you can't get what you want, and that's why you're in dissatisfaction always, right? Because somehow it's empirical to you. Give me more scientific method. Give me my double helix of DNA, TNAs. Give it to me. My nucleotides. Do it. What is going on? See? Proposals regarding the paranormal are different from scientific hypotheses or speculations extrapolated from scientific evidence because scientific ideas are grounded in empirical observations and experimental data gained through the scientific method. So, and they have to be able to repeat it, falsify this and that. But no, what is going on, right? So things that happen that you can't explain. Wow, exactly. And you're like, oh, what was that? Who knows? Let's just keep having bash. Join the party. Yeah, let's have some fun. What is going on? What is going on? Notable paranormal beliefs include those that pertain to telepathy, extrasensory perception, spiritualism. Look at all these words and the pseudosciences. They couldn't wait. Of ghost hunting, ghosting, cryptozoology, and ufology. They couldn't wait. Is a religious movement based on the beliefs that the spirits of the dead exist and have both the ability and the inclination to communicate with the living. The afterlife or the spirit world is seen by spiritualists not as a static place, but as one in which spirits dwell or bash live. Wow, exactly. Everybody say, I'm spiritual. That's what they mean. They bash and defile with ghosts in the night, and they just have an amazing time. But then others will say, no, it was aliens, and they defiled me in the night. Ah! And you say, others say, well, no, it was a demon. So it's just relentlessly shape-shifting, and this and that. Because it could possibly be that it's the same thing. You're like, no, it's one is empirical, the other one is just fake. One's empirical, one's just fake, and just hearsay. It's just hearsay. This, the other, blah, blah, blah. Right? And you just go, give me what I could touch and feel and smash. Come on, give it to me. I'm hamburger me and I can smash myself, so therefore I am and you are. Ha ha ha. Smashed. What a bash concept. Right? Look at all this bash, right? Wow. All because it's just, right? Psychic science. A compilation and examination of data with the aim of demonstrating the possible existence of spirits independent of the human body and to validate their ability to communicate with humanity. Wow. According to this bash, he has a summary in his book, Spirit Intercourse. Wow! In 1916! Oh, he couldn't wait to boast. Couldn't wait to boast. So, right during World War One. So, what is going on? Spirit Intercourse. Spirit intercourse. Wow, just penetration. Oh, spirit penetration. But no, because wisdom is penetration, but intercourse somehow insinuates, right, the sexual act. So it's this person talking again about defiling with the fallen angels and how it's just so amazing. What is going on? Right? Following the claims fall within the proper research parameters of psychic science. That at the death of the body, a human being continues to function as a conscious being, right? Like a little bubble. That he or she functions after death in a refined spirit body or soul, the spirit body, right? Oh, words that Eckhart Tolle loves, which has substance and weight, and which can be seen and photographed. Amazing. All the ghost hunters and this and that and the spirit trappers and this. That this soul existed with the physical body during life and it's organic, having brain, nerves, blood vessels, heart, etc. That the soul can communicate in various ways with persons on earth both before and after death. Before! Wow, who knew persons can communicate in various ways, right? Before death. Wow, who knew? And after death too. Wow. And you say, wow, that's sounds great. Communicate. Right? Because you're forgetting life everlasting, the true promise, and you've traded it up for this bash counterfeit. Look, what is all of this? Right? Oh, that the soul can communicate, right? What is no to live life everlasting forever with the Father who knew and praised in the unconditional love that he giveth. Right, but no, it couldn't be for you. It couldn't be. You're like, no, 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 it's this. The key to a successful relationship is communication. Right? No. What about why it is that you live? Do you see? Do you recognize? Well, what do you worship? Exactly. And then you might communicate something. Maybe not. Maybe you know and you can just by seeing into someone's eyes say everything. Why do you dwell on words and communicating just somehow pass something on? No. What do you have to pass on if not wisdom? What is it? Oh, pass me the keys. Wow, amazing. What else? Oh, the weather, that sports team, that. Wow, wow. Did you hear about that? The news. Oh, guns, violence. Oh, kill me. Right? And this and that. That's why I have to go out there and smash in pots and pans and cry on the streets and just write relentless letters and emails to councils of members and this and that and this and this and repress. I'm such a good activist. I'm so involved in action, you couldn't even find me in my house if I even had one. Because I just live amongst you and train and couch surf everywhere and just rely on the services of others to just somehow make the world better for you, everyone. Wow, smashed. Smashed. Right? That the world in which the soul dwells after the death of the body lies immediately around the physical earth. So it's just here too. Oh, it's just everywhere. everywhere, nowhere, because we're from nothing, and that somehow something, because you're relentlessly in and out, somehow here, not there, timeline there, other one, bypass, hopping, multiverses, and plexus. Wow, it's just a mash that means nothing to you, apparently. That's what you worship. That's why I say it. That a man nor a woman, or a woman, while alive, may leave the physical body, and by use of the soul may explore spheres or of refined physical states, commonly called the spirit world. Yes, astral planing. Just cutting that wave. Just cutting relentless waves in the astral ball. Abstractly, psychic science might seem to be but a focus within physical research or parapsychology. Parapsychology. Who knew? Within physical research or parapsychology. However, in practice, it has functioned as a synonym of spiritualism. Who knew? Who knew? The foundation of various British societies and colleges of psychic science, and the dropping of them termed spiritualists in favor of psychic science, without any appreciable redirection of program stems from spiritualist claims that the religion can be scientifically demonstrated. Oh. Because look at you who you worship! This bash! Who knew? 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 This guy knew, apparently. This guy knew so much. He was just ahead by a century. He was ahead by a few centuries. Maybe. No. Who was this Bash? Who knew? But he was in 1896. Died, right? Born 56. Wow. 1856. Amazing. So he just, wow, didn't live long. 36. Oh, 86. Yeah, of course. Whoa, he did live. He lived forever. Right? What's going on? Oh, this photo was taken in 1896. Amazing! Wow! A Serbian American inventor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, futurist. He's from the future! He was ahead by a century! Smashed. He was a time traveler, everyone! Look! No. Smashed. Smashed! He was a worshiper of something, but they won't tell you anything about that. And if he was probably just in name only, because truly, what was he working? Well, they'll tell you relentlessly what he would look. The electrical power industry, the telephony, Edison, Bash Works, wow, AC, Polyphase, wow. Look at all this, right? Citizenship, war, letting polysystem, consulting on Niagara, right? He was consulted for the Niagara work. Let's take a look. In 1893, Edward Dean Adams, who headed up the Niagara Falls Contract Construction Company, sought Tesla's opinion on what system would be best to transmit power generated at the falls. Over several years, there had been a series of proposals and open competitions on how best to use the generated power. Really? Who knew? Among the systems proposed by several U.S. and European companies were two-phase and three-phase AC, high-voltage DC, direct current, and bash, and compressed air. Who knew? Just compress that air until it pushes back. Adams pumped Tesla for information about the current state of the competition systems. Tesla advised Adams that a two-phase system would be the most reliable, and that there was Westinghouse system to light incandescent bulbs using two-phase alternating current. The company awarded a contract to Westinghouse Electric for building a two-phase AC generating system at Niagara Falls based on Tesla's advice and Westinghouse demonstration at the Columbian Exposition that they could build a complete AC system. At the same time, a further contract was awarded to General Electric to build the AC distributed system. Double dealing. So what is going on? Amazing. Now Niagara stands and somehow it was built and it's so amazing. In 1896, 1893, it's all being cooked up. Apparently that's when the Niagara Falls thing was built, just at the turn of the century. And now it's just there relentlessly. But somehow they built it then. Amazing. It was just an amazing feat. But I was just simple jacks out there, right? Just so relentless simple jacks. And this guy stood amongst them like a king, like a blast sorcerer. He knew everything, right? Wow. You say he was just a genius, man. He was a crystal child, man. Leave him alone. Well, he had a lap fire. Aw. Poor lap fire. Right? They say, oh, this lap fire, that's where they lost everything. Bah. Right? Not only setbacks Tesla's ongoing projects, it destroyed a collection of early notes and research materials models, demonstrations, including many that had been exhibited at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition. They're like, nobody, you're too ahead, let's burn you, psh, smash you. Cool down a little bit. We'll use this at a different time. Or could it be that there's old magic being surfaced and they had to wait for the right cooking temperature to just add the next ingredient? Who knew? Maybe this batch got a little ahead of the game and they're like, no, cool down. Singed him. Put him out. Well, that's the story that they give you. But truly, who knew that this has always been the cooked plan, right? To have some bash, underdog, always there, and the big guy that somehow pushed him down. And now you're gonna let the little ideas back up because you realize how corrupt, right, the bash system was and is, right? And you're like, what? We were given some bash counterfeit when we could have had this? Whoa! And you'll be like, of course, give me that. It's so much better. Free energy. Oh! And this just from the ether. Whoa! This or that. Wow. The counterfeit, right? You want that in a bash state of rebellion against life, against the creator. You want what you call free energy. When you're in a state of relentless rebellion against God. Wow. What a split way to live. Wow. So he had an X-ray experiment. Wow, he did it. Look, X-ray hand of take. But wow, because he just, he's so innovative, so ingenious, so just amazing. He just knew how to blast light, radiography, right? And followed some Bash's experiment and just perfected, tweaked it. And now nitrous acid, waves, and plasmas. Wow, who knew he was using plasma? Right? And wow, look, he said, wow. And then eventually he heard what? Radio control, wireless power. Look, he's in Charlotte's Web. Look, he's Charlotte, right? Wow, the Charlotte, the harlot. Look at him. From 1890s through 1906, Tesla spent a great deal of his time and a fortune on a series of projects trying to develop the transmission of electrical power without wires. He was ahead by a century. He was ahead by a century. And it's getting him down. And his lab burned down. And all just didn't go well for him, apparently. Right? And it was just boasting how amazing he was. Just like a Leonardo da Vinci, right? Now it's him. It's just old magic. Who knew? As in the days of Noah, right? Because what? Right? Because what? Oh, because it was just corrupt and violent. It's just corrupt and violence everywhere. Corruption and violence everywhere. And the lust of man, right? Because altogether, your thoughts and your heart, evil all the time. Manipulator, the relentless manipulator and shapeshifter. Who knew? There's zero certainty within you. And you say, well, it's because I haven't aligned my Kundalini and just haven't I thought what I think, feel what I feel, and then do what I think, feel, and do. And say, blah, blah, blah. That's my fusion of my left brain and my right brain. I'm just, wow, smashed. Exactly. You're not the synthesis. No. The Lord. The Lord is. Wow. Manifestation. Wow. Creation. Wow. So what is it that you worship? What do you see? What are you living? And what is it that is to gain under the sun when clearly it is relentlessly giving day in, day out life on earth? Who knew? But you're in escapism, always wanting more earths out there and more earths upon earths, and big ones and little teeny tiny ones. Smashed. Because look, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall on every living creature on the earth, every bird of the air, every creature that crawl on the ground, and all the fish of the sea. They are delivered into your hand. Everything that lives and moves will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you all things. But you must not eat meat with its lifeblood still in it. And surely I will require the life of any man or beast by whose hand your lifeblood is shed. Justice, who knew the Creator, executes the only justice that there is. Yes, amen. I will demand an accounting from anyone who takes the life of his fellow man. Whoever sheds blood of man, by man his blood will be shed. Who knew? For his own image, for in his own image, God has made mankind. Yes. Yes. But as for you, be fruitful and multiply, spread out across the earth and multiply upon it. Then God said to Noah and his sons with him, behold, I now establish my covenant with you and your descendants after you, and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and every beast on earth, every living thing that came out of the ark. And I establish my covenant with you. Never again will life be cut off by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. So what does a rainbow mean nowadays? Wow, exactly. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Whenever I form clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Wow. And whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every creature of every kind that is on earth. So all the time. Yes, amen. So God said to Noah, This is the sign of covenant that I have established between me and all living things on earth. Wow. But no, you're like, no, there's no wisdom in this. This is just bash. You've been bashed by a bash story. Well, go ahead and believe that then. Well, look, just read it for yourself. But look, Noah lived 950 years and then he died. Like, look, because look, now Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard, but when he drank some of his wine, he became drunk, just blasted, right? And uncovered himself inside his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness and told his two brothers outside. So Ham told. Then Shem and Japheth took garments and placed it across their shoulders, and walking backwards, they covered their father's nakedness. Their faces were turned away so that they did not see their father's nakedness. When Noah woke from his drunkenness and learned what his youngest son had done with him, he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants. Shall he be not his brothers? Shall he be to his brothers a servant? Hmm. He also declared, Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem. May Canaan be the servant of Shem. May God expand the territory of Japheth. May he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. After the flood, Noah lived 350 years, so a total of 950 years. Amazing. Look. Wow. And this is where, look, because look, what is this? Wireless power, right? Wireless power going and just bashing into everything, right? Just, wow, taking it from the ether. Wow. So he did, right? The phenomena seen to borrow from a common idea at the time. Earth's atmosphere was conductive. He proposed a system composed of balloons suspending, transmitting, and receiving electrodes in the air at 3,000 feet in altitude, where he thought the lower pressure would allow him to send high voltages millions of volts long distances. So to further bash his studies, experiments, 1899, Colorado Springs. There he could safely operate much longer coils, blah, blah, blah. He got a funder to pump out, but just spent it all on something else. Tesla used the money to fund his Colorado Springs experiment. Upon his arrival, he told reporters that he planned to conduct wireless telegraphy experiments transmitting signals from Pikes Peak to Paris. Whoa! There he conducted experiments with a large coil operating in the megavolts range, producing artificial lightning and thunder. Who knew? So they became what? Thor? They become what? Zeus? Consisting of millions of volts and discharge, blah blah blah, and at one point Bob burned the generator at El Paso, causing a power outage. Wow. They got their little candles out then. Right? Because they were just so simple jacks out there, and then just they could do this. Whoa. The observation he made of the electronic noise of lightning strikes led him to incorrectly conclude that he could use the entire globe of the earth to conduct electrical energy. They had to just bash it right here. Look, the observations he made of the electronic noise of the lightning strikes led him to, and then, parentheses, incorrectly conclude, right? They just had to put that. Led him to. Why can't they just say led him to conclude, right? Because then you can say, well, that was his conclusion. So, but then they say incorrect. He was incorrect. So there's no way that you can use, the medium of what you say the atmosphere is to conduct anything through it. But yet there's Wi-Fi and all this bash and bash, 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 and then fiber optics is the future, bash, right? What is going on? It is already happening. So they just say it doesn't happen, it doesn't exist, doesn't happen, doesn't happen. The air is not doing anything. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. During his time at his laboratory, Tesla observed unusual signals from his receiver, right? And then he said, oh, it was UFOs. Other planets are speaking to me. He published it in the Red Cross, bash, bash, bash. And it made headlines because, like, whoa, he's speaking, what is he talking about? Well, right? Talking with planets. Where he said that it has been immediately apparent to him that he was hearing intelligently controlled signals, and that the signals could come from Mars, Venus, or other planets. Whoa! So he had built the first, ET center, or whatever they call it, where the Bosch place in a desert that sends and apparently is waiting for signals to come back. So then he made this bash, right? Variable system of wireless transmission, right? The wrecked penis just in this atmosphere, just amazing, smashing. Who knew, right? Who knew? Look, amazing. But you say, whoa, why didn't we just go that route? I want it now. Exactly, you just split it, giving you this bash image of reality that could have been but wasn't, but somehow trying to recreate it and just bring it into technology now. Wow, what a shame. You don't know just because you see a little tower. Why? What couldn't it be that there were relentless thieves around everywhere at some point? No, it couldn't be, or this or that. No, or this or the other, blah blah. Just because you see one little picture, a teeny tiny thing, now it's just him. This is what it means, and he was just bashing with lightning and doing all sorts of bash things and amazing transferring things. Right? Because it couldn't be that he was some bash, psychic or this medium. He was just channeling all sorts of bash and just receiving whispers from who knows what. But he was just a genius, guys, and he was pushing something that just would have saved us, but didn't somehow. And bash, bash, bash. Then we went into bash World War II. So he lived through the world wars, people. He lived through the world wars, or the time leading. Wow, he was in the world wars. So what's going on? Wow. Was he a clown, right? Is this guy the same as, a circus, another player in a circus? Wow, because who knew that he's probably a magician, right? Object manipulation. And you say, no, it's not object manipulation because you're just trapping it from the ether, right? But you're building some bash thing that somehow traps it. So what's going on? Manipulation. What is going on? What are you doing? What is going on? You're a tightrope walker, right? Is this guy a tightrope walker? Right? He had to get funding, right? It was tight for him. It was just always tight. He couldn't get it. Just cut that wave. So he was always walking some tightrope, right? He just couldn't get a break, that poor guy, right? This and that, you'll say. Wow. It couldn't be that he was just a bash, the sorcerer that was in the. Well, he didn't need to boast he didn't need to be the face of the Times. No, J.P. Morgan and all these and Edison were. So let them be. He let them be because he was cooking up something greater for the master works of the vision. Right? So what's a clown? What's a clown? Because, yeah, they're just clown. Right? A clown is a comic performer who employs slapstick or similar types of physical comedy. Physical, right? Oh, they had to just bash this guy. He was one of the bounding ballers, as you probably say, of clowns. Mimery and this bash, 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 and bash this and that, and the other this and that. See, a mime. Oh, a mimer, mime artist. They had to just say artist, right? The mime artist. Because, no, I'm not just a mime, I'm an artist, right? The arts of all the fallen angels that taught man how to defile and shapeshift and manipulate. All because now they saw the knowledge of good and evil. So who knew that you abused it and you used it to just deceive yourself further as the light was deceiving you in return. Who knew? But somehow you just it's just they're just copying. They're just copycats. They're just doing the motions, the actions, and somehow it's funny and it makes me laugh. Because what's a harlequin? Is the best known of the zany or comic servant characters from the Italian commedia dell'arte. Dell'arte. The role is traditionally, right, believed to have been introduced by Gian Ganassa in the late 16th century. Was definitely popularized by the Italian actor Tristano Martinelli in Paris, 1584 to 1585, so 1 year, and became a stock character after Martinelli's death in 1630. Wow! So the Harlequin is characterized by his checkered costume. Checkered. So the chessboard, black and white. Where does that look familiar? What floor have you seen that on? Yes, the floor on the two pillars at Bash and Jacob's ladder and this and Bash, Bash, Bash. Making the fusion, you believe yourself, right? So he's gonna clown and conduct the ceremony of the supposed synthesis. Right? His role is that of a light-hearted, nimble what? Bash? Nimble and astute servant. Oh, astute. Wow. The tricky slave. Wow. So astute servant means tricky slave. A clever person, is clever lower class person who brings about the happy ending of a comedy for the lovers. He is more clever. He's just a simple jack. Both the lovers and the characters who block their love, and typically also looking out for his own interests. Wow, just stock characters upon stock characters. Who knew? And then you'll go and play them. Often acting to thwart the plans of his master and pursuing his own love interest, Columbina. Wow, all these goddesses' names and all this stuff. And you say, yes! Well, what does it mean? Who knows, but you love it. And you say, yes, it's time to come back to this divine femininity after being so long in the divine masculine and this and this. We have to just fuse it all in one. What are you saying? You are not the synthesis. You're in life, and you see the knowledge of good and evil. It is not for you to synthesize it. No. What are you doing? Trying to play the fool? Trying to play the clown? You're clowning around. Oh, I'm just astute. Oh, just chasing. And no, I help others. I just help others get what they want, as long as I get what I want, right? Because the self-servant is just ultimately in his own self-interest, right? Looking out for his own interest. Hmm. He laid right, blah blah blah, right? With wit and resourcefulness, often competing with the sterner and melancholic Pierrot. Is a character, a stock character, another stock character of pantomime and commedia dell'arte whose origins are in the late 17th century Italian troupe of players performing in Paris and known as Comédie Italienne. The name is diminutive of Peter, diminutive, Pierrot, Piccino, o Tatenga. The name is, wow, diminutive. His character is contemporary. Blah 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 blah. He later develops into the prototype of the romantic hero. Yay! Is a literally archetype referring to a character that rejects established norms and conventions, has been rejected by society, and has their selves as the center of their own existence. So he has to be some romantic hero. Wow. The romantic hero is often the protagonist. So the romantic hero, what is that? So masking the false love of the world as romantic and saying, yes, chase this because somehow you see virtue in this. Because there is. Because who knew that these are just the actions, right, of something that you don't know what the worship of is. But somehow it's just, oh, he just wanted to love his bride, that the love that couldn't be, and this and that and this and that. Well, what a shame. Because what leads you to do all these things? And you say, love. No. Love bringeth forth. Right? Love unconditional of the Father. Your romantic bash love kills and slays and bash, bends and contorts and obligates and just abuses and defiles. Who knew? Harlequin inherits his physical agility and his trickster qualities, as well as his name, from a mischievous devil character in medieval passion plays. So he gets his he gets his powers from the devil. Who knew? Harlequin. Who knew? Right? But somehow Harlequin is just some bash, right? She's just some bash she's this. Harley Quinn is a fictional character appearing in a comic book established by DC Bash, right? The character was created by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. It sounds Italian. Oh, it's just America. Oh, of course. In her depiction, she's been portrayed as a physician, psychiatrist, philosopher, and as a psychologist. Harley Quinn made her first live action appearance as part of the main character, blah blah blah, in which she portrayed by actress blah blah blah, Robbie blah blah. She she's accomplice and lover of the Joker, the trickster, the devil. They're telling you right there, but somehow you just say, oh, they're just clowns and they're just mimes. And it's okay. It's just they're just superheroes and action figurines. Yeah, that's what it is. And they're all just part of some bash circus that travel the world, having screenings and this different times of the year. And it's fine, guys. It's just fine. Just go and watch it and just pump it down your gullet. And even if it doesn't taste good, at least it was entertaining. At least it was entertaining and give you some bash relief. Because it's the modern format, guys. The modern format. The origin of the modern circus has been attributed to Philip Astley, who was born 1742, Newcastle, blah blah blah. He did not originate trick horse riding. He was first introduced as acrobats and clowns and blah blah blah, contorters and bash 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 bash. But what about all the bash? What about these? What happened to all the hybrids? Oh, they're just gone. They went underground. They just died out. They just died out. Or somehow you're like, well, we gave them their humanity and their dignity back. Now they don't have to be in circuses. Now they just live amongst us, and we just say hello. How are you doing? And this and that and this and this. Now we gave them back their peoplehood. Smashed. You don't know what you're living. What time? What are the signs? What are the signs? What are the seasons? What is going on? What days are you living? Oh, who knows? Because what is going on? This. Human hybrids. Who knew that they just recently, or Bosch, the last few years? Oh, Bosch, now we can. Some Bosch human pig hybrid lived for 3 weeks and then died. But wow, we did it. We did it, guys. And this and that. Wow, look, you're creating the little Bosch thing apparently you evolved from. Little Bosch half mouse, little man. The little half Bosch mouse, little rodent that's just gonna bash, and oh, wow, he can be your little friend because he can talk back to you. Aw, look. Aw, he's so cute. Oh, look at him. Aw, I want one. Quick, I'll give my DNA sample and you can give me back one that will just love me because it's me and just looks different and I can cuddle him relentlessly. Aw. What is going on? Corrupting life. What is going on? Manipulators of the flesh, of yourselves, of your bodies, of the spirit. Who knew? Just wicked through and through. Wickedness. So what is going on? What is going on? Well, you deny it. You deny it. You deny it. Right? Because what is the whole what is Jesus said to his disciples, it is inevitable that stumbling blocks will come, but woe to the one through whom they come. Yes. It would be better for him to have a millstone hung around his neck and to be thrown into the sea than to cause one of these little ones to stumble. Who knew? So who are we leading astray? Yes, the little ones. So we might as well just be just thrown into the ocean and drowned, right? Because we're the ones that are throwing the blocks that are just tripping us up. Watch yourselves. If your brother sins, rebuke him. And if he repents, forgive him. Amen. But not because you say you're like, okay, I have the power to forgive you. No. But what does repenting mean? Yes, admitting you're wrong, being humble to the Lord. For you're in his image. You're in the Creator's image. Who knew? And who knew that if every one of your said brothers is just relentlessly there to just, wow, why would you not call this help? What other help exists other than to keep each other in line, in check? Not letting each other do us that well and just be like, well, better luck next time, bud. I respect you. Just respect me back in my bash hood. Okay. Best friends forever. Smashed. even if he sins against you 7 times in a day and 7 times returns to say, I repent, you must forgive him. Amen. As the Father forgives, forgive. The power of faith. The apostle said to the Lord, increase our faith. And the Lord answered, if ye have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can say to the mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it will obey you. Wow, if you just have a little bit of faith. Wow. Which of you whose servant comes in from plowing or shepherding in the field will say to him, come at once and sit down to eat? Instead, won't he tell them, prepare my meal and dress yourself to serve me while I eat and drink, and afterwards you may eat and drink? Does he that thank the servant because he did what he was told? So you also, when you have done everything commanded of you, should say, we are unworthy servants. We have only done our duty. What must be done? Yes, but instead you're like, no, I want to do what I want to do. Leave me alone. I want to go endure in my race. How I am carving out the life that I'm supposedly creating for myself. While Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem, he was passing between Samaria and Galilee. As he entered one of the villages, he was met by 10 lepers. They stood at distance and raised their voices, shouting, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. When Jesus saw them, he said, go show yourselves to the priests. And as they were on their way, they were cleansed. When one of them saw that he was healed, he came back, praising God in a loud voice. He fell face down at Jesus' feet, thanking him. And he was a Samaritan. Were not all 10 cleansed? Jesus asked. Where then are the other 9? Was no one found except this foreigner to return and give glory to God? Then Jesus said to him, rise and go. Your faith has made you well. When asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God would come, Jesus replied, the kingdom of God will not come with observable signs, nor people will say, look, here it is, or there it is. For you see, the kingdom of God is in your midst. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Exactly. What do you see? What do you worship? Then he said to the disciples, the time is coming when you will long to see one of the days of the Son of Man, but you will not see it. People will tell you, look, there he is, or here he is. Do not go out or chase after them. For as the lightning flashes and lights up the sky from one end to the other, so will the Son of Man in his day. So this bash, right? This bash was just bashing with, lightning bolts and bash and just manipulating with the light. Ethernet, wow, wireless cables, wow, X-rays. And now, wow, look, wow, enterprises, organizations, holiday measures, places, schools, songs, wow, plaques and memorials. Wow, see Nikola Tesla in Croatia, 2006, blah, 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 blah. Street in Lower Tower, there's monument upon monument, blah, blah. Wow, he became a statue, a legacy, right, of the worker of the light, right? Yes. So what was he working? What was going on? But first he must suffer many things and be rejected by this generation. Just as in the days of Noah, so also will it be in the days of Son of Man. People were eating and drinking, marrying and being married, and being given in marriage up to the day Noah entered the ark. Then the flood came and destroyed them all. It was the same in the days of Lot. People were eating and drinking, buying and selling, planting and building. But on the day Lot left Sodom, fire and brimstone rained down from heaven and destroyed them all. It will be just like that on the day the Son of Man is revealed. So what do you see? What is being revealed? Oh, just how savage, violent we are every day, and how we just blame each other. We're just relentlessly pointing fingers. On that day, let no one on the housetop come down to retrieve his possessions. Likewise, let no one in the field return for anything he has left behind. Remember Lot's wife. Whoever tries to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life will preserve it. Wow. And you'll say, no, there's no wisdom in this. No. But exactly, everyone's out there trying to save their life, make it better. Who knows this is the fate? For if you humble yourself and relent and say, wow, I was wrong, right? Then it doesn't matter. The loss of your life, right? It doesn't become that which dictates what you will do and how you're going to YOLO and just, oh, power of now, right? No. For you know the flesh is mortal. So lose your life. For you know the true promise, right? In the living, wow, you can see it and be it in the living. Wow. I tell you, on that night, two people will be in one bed. One will be taken, and the other left. Two women will be grinding grain together. One will be taken, and the other left. Where, Lord? They asked. Jesus answered, wherever there is a carcass, there the vultures will gather. Wow. Then Jesus told them a parable about their need to pray at all times and not lose heart. In a certain town there were a judge who neither feared God nor respected men. And there was a widow in that town who kept appealing to him, give me justice against my adversary. For a while he refused, but later he said to himself, even though I do not fear God or respect men, yet because this widow keeps pestering me, I will give her justice. Then she will stop wearing me out with her perpetual requests. And the Lord said, listen to the words of the unjust judge. Will not God bring about justice for his elect, who cry out to him day and night? Will he continue to defer their help? I tell you, he will promptly carry out justice on their behalf. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? Wow. So again, all in object manipulation, right? Because we're in some meta science bash of belief of the paranormal and the psychic science of the Nikola Teslas out there that just got suppressed somehow. But now they're coming back. They're coming back from the dead and this and that and this and that and this and that. To bash us to this. And wow. We're just creating our own arc to bash through this ball of gas that's just blasting somewhere and just gonna take us to the next multiplexes of verses. Wow.